And it's just like with a bitch. Like, I don't know many people that don't do anything sexual to make themselves significant or important in this world. And I didn't even know that that was really a thing that people was um, that people were. I didn't know that that was a thing that people do sexual services for people to advance in life. Like, I knew prostitution was a thing, but I'm saying I ain't know like motherfuckers be getting in power from that shit from real. Like, motherfuckers really be getting in a favorable position in life because of that. Like, so I mean, of course, prostitution is a thing. I know that, but I'm just saying I didn't know that it was so prevalent in people's day-to-day operations and business practices. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the same thing like that, like with a hoe who started out as a hoe and then she turns her life into something else. Like they forget the humble beginning as a hoe. Like that's how they got their start. You know what I'm saying? Like a bitch get in position and get into um like they turn their life around based on them being a hoe, and then a bitch forget like, hey, I feel like something has to keep a bitch humble. You know what I'm saying? Something got to keep her humble to the point, or something has to keep like big companies humble. Like you could lose this shit. Like, and uh, 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 there's nothing keeping businesses humble when they get big. Like they get big and then they just do business any kind of way because they're big and they're making the money, but it's nobody to make somebody keep the standard at all times or keep the quality of service at all times. It's like so as a motherfucker get big and they get that big money and they become a national chain and they become globally recognized for the company they built or the brand they built, then it's like you notice the standards start to slip, the service start getting worse, and it's like, how do you forget the shit that helped you get your brand to where it is today? Like that's the shit I don't get. Like how do you start slacking on the shit that got you in a position to have however many fucking national businesses you have? Like that shit crazy to me. It's like I would never forget um sleeping on the floor at my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just shit that I'll never forget. I'll never forget sleeping in my car. I'll never forget days I couldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people once they get their life together or they get their life in a favorable position, they forget the reason why they got their life in a favorable position or the reason they did what they did in the first place. And it's like there's no one around to keep people humble.
Good morning, sir.
There's no people around for that. And it's like I ain't saying I'm the perfect person to keep people humble. I'm just saying I don't forget where I came from. I don't forget what I've been through. And you know what I'm saying? Like my level in life is different than other people's. But it's like I still don't walk around like I ain't forget. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forget where I'm from, where I came from, how shit was for me, and the reason I go hard anyway to make my brand become a global international brand. Like I don't forget that shit. Like I can't forget it because it's like shit. That's the shit that made me wanna turn it around in the first place. It was basically technically my reasoning for improving and making myself something. You know what I'm saying? That lack or those humble beginnings when we ain't have much and a motherfucker couldn't do shit is like all of that shit turns you into. I ain't gonna say it turns you into, but I'm saying it, if you desire more in life, it makes you want to go get it. But it's like just like a bitch, like these big companies, they get this shit and then they basically just say fuck everything that got them where they are. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the standards, fuck the quality of service, fuck all of that, um, and just do whatever they want because they this big now. So it's like, come on, bro. How is service? How is service like not the number one priority in everything? Like in any business where you gotta deal with people, service should be the number one, the key point to everything done. Service, and it's like people don't give a fuck about serving no more. I said what I said. So that's some more shit.